Hey guys, I'm going to do my labor and delivery video. I did one before a couple days ago, but things have just been kind of crazy and my editing skills stink, and I did it on my phone, and for some reason my phone was just not working with me. So I am redoing it, and hopefully it will be a little less all over the place. I have my little notes. Alright, so here we go. Okay, so Sunday on the, what day was it? Sorry, the 27th, Sunday the 27th, I woke up in the morning and I felt fine, everything was normal, no contractions going on or anything. I had the night before I had a period of contractions at night, which has been completely normal for me. I was having contractions about every 2-3 minutes, but they were not very strong, and they were not getting stronger. They were not getting closer together, and they were very easy contractions, a little bit stronger than Braxton Hicks, but they weren't I was up and talking and walking through them and everything. So they really weren't, true labor contractions. But then I woke up in the morning and everything was fine, normal, nothing was going on. I was laying on the couch with my son around 10:30, watching Mickey Mouse, and I went to the bathroom and wiped, still feeling fine, and there was bloody show. Not bloody, period bloody, but it was a lot of kind of yellowish tinted discharge with streaks of blood in it. It looked like veins of blood in the discharge. It was really weird, and I hadn't had anything going on down there. I didn't have sex the night before or anything like that. And I hadn't been checked in a while. My last appointment was the Friday before, and I went in for a non-stress test, and he did check me, but I didn't have any bleeding afterwards or anything like that, and he said I was still at 2-3 centimeters, 75% effaced. So that discharge was really random because I didn't have a membrane sweep, and it was days after I had been checked, and I hadn't had any bleeding before after he had checked me. So it was really weird. It was just out of nowhere. So I knew something was different, but I'm still not trying to get excited about it. But I did text my mom and tell her, hey, I think this is my real show, but I knew it could be hours till regular labor, or it could be days. So I didn't get excited. So that was at 10:30. Around 12:30, I started having contractions. Still, they were about the same as the contractions I was having during my night periods. But they were only they were very irregular, and it was not I wasn't even counting them or timing them. But I did text my mom hey mom, having contractions. I was keeping my mom really updated just in case. But again, still not getting excited because I was I've been in false labor before. I don't want to get sent home. So, and then around 1 o'clock, I did start timing them, and it turned out to be about 5 minutes apart. Again, still not painful, not really changing in strength, but they seem to be getting closer together and more regular. And then I just stopped timing them because I noticed when I was concentrating and stressing out about it, it seemed like they would space out a little more, which is weird. Which also made me not think it was real labor. So I stopped timing them, and then around 4:15. And then around the 1 o'clock, when I told my mom they're 5 minutes apart, she decided to just go ahead and come down. Sorry, I got sidetracked for a second. So yeah, she decided to come down on her own. I told her not to. I actually told her not to come because I thought it wasn't real. But she decided to come. She left around 2. Yeah, okay. And then around 4:15, I started timing them again because they seemed to be even closer together. And they were about 3 minutes apart, 3 or 4 minutes apart. So they were a little bit closer in time, and they were still the same in strength. They weren't really getting stronger, in my opinion. I did have to like stop and breathe a little bit, but I could walk through them and I could talk through them, but I didn't want to. So yeah. And then I kind of went on with life. My mom arrived around 6 o'clock, and I ate dinner and actually went to the store, went out for our frozen yogurt, and sat at a bonfire with friends and was having contractions throughout all of it. But I was socializing in between them. So I wasn't getting concerned. I thought my mom had gotten down here for nothing, but my induction was on Tuesday, so I figured, heck, she's here. Even if I don't go to labor, if I'm not in labor, she spends Monday with us, and then I go again do stuff Tuesday, so she's already here. So it really didn't matter to me. But then around 10:50, I was still at home, but I started timing them again, and they were about 2 to 3 minutes apart. So again, they were getting closer together, but they weren't, in my opinion, getting stronger. I still was thinking that this wasn't the real deal, and everybody kept telling me to go to the hospital. I was just being stubborn. I did not want to go. I did not get I had no urgency to go. So I actually decided to go to bed. I took a shower, which for me was a test to see if they would continue or get stronger. Because after I took a shower during one of my previous episodes, they would go away. They did not. I had actually a few in the shower, which I didn't have before. And they felt like they were getting a little stronger. Like that one actually, I felt like hurt. It hurt really bad. And I actually was like going, ow, 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 through them. But then I decided to go to bed because that was like the ultimate test for me. That was like, if I can go to sleep and, I'll either get woken up with painful contractions, water breaking, or I'll just wake up and they'll be gone, like they usually do. So I went to sleep around 10:50. And actually I did go to sleep, but I could feel contractions, I could feel pain, but I was somehow able to just stay asleep a little bit, very lightly. Around 1:30, my husband, got really annoyed with me because he had actually taken off work because he thought I was in labor, which he was right. He was supposed to be on night shift, so he called in and got somebody to take his shift, and he got really pissed off with me because he was like, if you don't go in, I'm going to get in trouble. For calling in off work, and that they're going to think I lied. And so I was like, okay. So I woke up, and then I told him, I was like, let me just sit through a couple contractions, let me time them, see how close they are, how painful they are. And I woke up and I went through 2 contractions, and oh my God, they were painful contractions. I don't know how I slept through them. They were hurting. I was like, it was all on my back, horrible back labor contractions. And I was screaming, I was yelling, and my mom came in and helped me get dressed and get ready to go. I went to the bathroom before we left, and I had horrible diarrhea. Sorry, but a little tidbit there. And some more bloody show. And it was a lot. It was a lot of bloody show. So we decided to go. My mom followed us there, left my sister with my son. And we get to the hospital, and around 1:45, like it was fast. Like those 2 contractions I waited through, they were about a minute apart. And I get to the hospital, and they checked me, and I was 5 centimeters, 75% face. So I changed 2 centimeters that since Friday, and it was Sunday. So they said it was the real deal. So yeah, and then they waited an hour after they checked me, and they came and checked me again. I was a 6, so I was definitely in labor, because they usually say it's about an hour for each centimeter, and I was dead on. It was exactly an hour, and I changed from 5 centimeters to 6 centimeters, and I changed from 75% of face to about 80, 90% of face. I forgot which one. Then I did end up getting the epidural. I was in a lot of pain, and it was a whole lot different than my last labor with my son. I totally underestimated how much pain I was going to be, and I was a bit of a baby about it. But you know what? I was perfectly okay with it, and it went smoothly. And they didn't mess up my epidural this time, and it worked. Unlike with my son, it did not fully work. It did work, a little bit. Like, it was weird. With my son, I couldn't feel, like, my vagina area, but I could feel my contractions. This time, I couldn't feel my contractions, but I could feel my vagina area. Like, I could feel them checking. I could feel them doing everything down there. And I felt like when they did the catheter, oh, that hurt so bad. Yeah, anyway. Then they left, and around 5 a.m., they checked me, come back and checked me, and I was 8 centimeters. And then I started getting a fever about 100 degrees, and Kaylee's heart rate was dropping, like it was doing dips. But then they said, then they gave me oxygen, and then the problem was that her heart rate would skyrocket. So they kept turning me over and over and over and over again. And they kept checking me, and I was stalled out at 8 centimeters. My contractions were slowing down. They wanted to put me on Pitocin, and I was really not wanting Pitocin. And my waters were still intact, so I told them, why don't you just bring more water and then see what happens and then get Pitocin. So they broke my water at 8:50 a.m. And then things just kind of flew. At 8:50 a.m., that's when they broke my water. And then at 9:30 a.m., so about 40 minutes later, I was 9 centimeters and they started getting ready to deliver. And then about 10 minutes later, I was like, holy crap. I felt so much pressure, and I could actually feel her head sliding. And I told them to check me, I was 10 centimeters. And at 9:40, so like I said, 9:30, I was 9 centimeters, and 9:40, I was starting to push. It took an hour for me to push her out, only because her head was tilted awkwardly, so my midwife had to actually reach in and turn her head to the right position. And then after that, she kind of just flew out. She was born on 10:40. She did have meconium, so which her head popped out, they suctioned her right away, and she was just fine. And I did tear a little bit. I think what she said, I only got 3 stitches, which is not bad at all. My husband got to cut the cord, and they laid her on my chest right away. And I did skin to skin, and I nursed right away while they're still stitching me up. And overall, it was a great experience. It was not the 100% natural birth I really wanted, but compared to my son, which was all medicated, totally assisted, did not do anything on my own, I was really happy with it. I dilated completely on my own, except for when they broke my water, but it's still non-medicated, and really not, it was really not an intervention, I feel. I don't know what you guys think, but for me, it was really natural and completely different. I dilated all on my own, and the only thing I was epidural. No Pitocin, no other IV drugs or anything, just a little bit of oxygen and the epidural. So for me, it was a complete different experience than with my son, so I was still really happy with it. She was, like I said, she was born at 10:40, 9 pounds and 0 ounces, so she was exactly 9 pounds and 20.5 inches long, and completely perfect. So I was really happy with the experience, and I will recommend if you're in the Jacksonville area, go to Onslow to give birth, not Naval. Naval's awful. That's it for my labor and delivery, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.